All right. Hello, everybody. This has been really insightful. It's always nice to be in a room full of marketers. I've got another meeting that's coming up here, guys, so I'm going to breeze through this. If you guys have any questions about how to find a good newsletter partner, happy to be a resource for you. I'm John Thomas. I'm the go-to-market engineer for Donut Press Media. Promise this is going to be the most exciting presentation on newsletter marketing you've seen all day. So, having worked in the media buying space, having worked with clients, I'm familiar with the common refrain of what's next, right? Maybe you crack the code on Meta or Google, you're generating a 2 or 3x ROAS, and that becomes the status quo, and the client is basically used to that and says, what is next? So from a newsletter standpoint, I think in 2024, roughly there were 840 newsletters that were started up. This is an exploding space. I'm not going to read through all this, but you guys feel free to browse through it. Essentially, compound annual growth rate in newsletters is 17%. It's an exploding marketplace. Just the nature of the media landscape is diversification and niching and narrowing down to specific interests. So everything from just daily news to specific niche interests like pickleball or tennis or guns or whatever the specific interest is. There's a massive audience there, and they're gravitating to those newsletters. So let's get into the benefits of newsletter marketing here. So direct access to an engaged audience. So one of the challenges of social media marketing is audience fatigue, right? You go on Instagram or Facebook and you're going through your feed and you're getting hit with more and more ads. The benefit of newsletters is that people are going there specifically for curated content that pertains specifically to their interests. And in that, you're going to have typically much higher open rates for that content. So people are actually looking for that content. They're setting aside 5-10 minutes a day just for that content. And so as a consequence, you get a much higher engagement rate, you get much higher click-through rates. I think on our text SMS, for instance, we have a 99% open rate and a 12% click-through rate, right? So just the engagement rate is much higher than what you're going to find in typical social media marketing. Because of the competitive nature of the landscape, I'm just kind of curious, if you guys want to do a show of hands, was anybody here marketing pre-Cambridge Analytica scandal? Anybody? I don't know if you guys were doing that, but those were the glory days of marketing. You could basically do anything you wanted to on social media marketing, and you could crank out millions of dollars. Post-Cambridge Analytica, privacy concerns, there's a lot of challenges with getting to audiences. Specific targeting isn't as available as it was. And so the benefit of newsletter marketing is that you can get to those audiences without the same sort of algorithmic challenges and that you're going to run into with social media marketing. Let's see here. So highly targeted marketing. So again, segmentation is everything. Again, from experience, I know that when you're trying to teach the algorithm which audience you're looking for, you can be as segmented as you want, and you're still going to burn through top of funnel spending to try and narrow down and teach the algorithm what you're looking for. That is not the case with social media marketing. If you have a client that sells gun parts or gun or vests or CBD or maybe sexual wellness, like that's a really good example of one that's very challenging to market on social media. That's not the same challenge you're going to run to with newsletters. So segmentation is an incredibly powerful tool that's available in newsletter marketing that you're not going to be able to have in typical social media campaigns. Brand loyalty. So I don't think it's a controversial statement to say that people are pretty loathsome of the Meta brand. But probably doesn't hold true for TikTok as much, although TikTok has its own sort of controversial positions. In a newsletter, people are there, and if it's an effective newsletter, people are incredibly loyal. That newsletter has a brand, it has a personality, it's a part of somebody's daily ritual, and because of that, you get much greater brand loyalty, and therefore the content that's in there, including the ads, including the marketing, resonates more effectively with the audience. In our case, we make sure that the actual ads align with the same brand voice as the newsletter, so there's congruity between what you read as content and what you see as ads. Community building, everything from cross-pollinating content that is delivered on somebody's, either their phone via text SMS or via email. That same content gets cross-pollinated via socials, and again, just that sort of flywheel of content that nurtures a greater community is a pretty effective strategy that isn't available in traditional marketing channels. Revenue opportunities, there's a diverse way of revenue generating options with newsletter marketing. So everything from just traditional paid sponsorships, product launches. Affiliate marketing is a win for a lot of different newsletters. Again, the more niche the newsletter, the more profitable that affiliate is. Again, think CBD, right? I don't know how many of you have tried to market CBD. There's a whole cottage industry of CBD marketing professionals that sell their services built around the challenges of trying to market CBD. Enhanced concert distribution. So what I love about the conversation today is everybody's consensus essentially that Omnichannel is the way to go, and I completely agree. It's one of the positions that we take when we're talking to brands or services, is this idea of, if you want to reach people at the top of funnel through a trusted channel like a newsletter, then take those visitors, whether they're clicks, impressions that are leaving the newsletter and going to a landing page, and then remarketing those landing page visitors through TikTok, Snapchat, Facebook, wherever. That's an omnichannel approach that wins, and certainly one that I subscribe to as well. Again, long-term relationship building, as opposed to the sort of transactional nature that you're going to see on most social media channels. Again, people are going every day ritualistically to a newsletter. They make that a part of their day. And because of that, you're building an actual relationship with those users, those readers, and that sort of know, like, and trust angle is a natural consequence of that. And so because of that, you get people coming back to that. And so when you think about long-term marketing campaigns, I think everybody here would agree there's not a sort of one and done approach. You want to nurture that new customer down the funnel, and the best way to do that is through a source that they know, like, and trust. Loyalty reward programs is another one that's a unique angle here. I think everybody here is probably tapping into that in some level through their own channels, but that's something that within newsletters is especially effective when you think about like contests. The Donut Press Media, we run a pet playoffs annually, right? So everybody submits their picture of their pet, everybody votes on the cutest pet, and just that kind of engagement, again, separate from any sort of marketing angle, is just a way to build a community that you don't get anywhere else. Predictable performance kind of speaks to just the ritualistic nature of people checking their phones every single day, their sort of toilet ritual, and catching up on the news of the day or the content of the day. And by that sort of predictable nature of that ritual, you're able to present those people with the same sort of marketing solutions, the product or services solutions that you're partnered to deliver. So not all newsletters are created equal. I'll say that there are a lot of newsletters out there. You reach out to them and they're going to be happy to take your money, and they're going to be happy to run your ad, and there's not as much long-term thinking. From our standpoint, one of the unique differentiators about the Donut Press Media is we were built by sales and marketing professionals. So the content obviously is king, but separate from that, we're cognizant of the fact that a long-term relationship is going to be fruitful for everybody involved. And so we put a lot of strategic thinking into, okay, so what angle is going to perform the best? We take that data and then we iterate, just like regular marketing professionals, right? What a concept. But as obvious as it sounds, it is not the standard. So when you're looking at a newsletter partner, again, if it's CBD or if it's sexual wellness or some sort of challenging market that's difficult to address, when you're looking at a newsletter that has an audience that matches your ICP, that is not the be-all, end-all. You definitely want to dig into the actual process that the newsletter is going to take you through to ensure success. So that's really it, guys. I think the takeaway here is omnichannel approach is going to be the way things are moving forward, and newsletter marketing is going to be a key component of that. I think if you aren't tapping into that, do a little bit of digging, find the right newsletter for your ICP, and I think you'll find a world of possibilities there. So thanks very much for your time, guys. I apologize. I've got to hop off onto another meeting, but I appreciate this. Daniel, thank you so much. Thank you, Preventus. You guys are amazing.